Talk to camera, Josh.
Start recording on here. All right. Welcome into the Real Underrated Podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Holiday. That is Timothy Beckman. And we are doing our podcast still in kind of quarantine. Not really. Texas said fuck it.
Yeah, we live in Texas, so, you know.
Fuck
that shit.
We recorded an episode about 2 weeks ago that we were going to put out, but Skype decided to be awful. And pretty much...
It's not Skype's fault.
The first 30... You heard it, didn't you?
Yeah, I understand.
The first 30 minutes, you couldn't understand anything I was saying, so...
Yeah, because your internet connection sucks. Don't blame Skype.
Okay,
blame
whatever.
Your internet.
Okay, Skype still compresses it. So my internet connection sucks. Skype sucks. We're live in person via satellite. Okay, and
we're not via anything.
I don't think he understands what via means. But yeah, we're socially distanced still. I'm sitting on this side of the phone. He's sitting on that side of the phone, and yeah, we're gonna talk about movies and TV shows and stuff.
We're social distanced.
Are we not? We're 6 feet apart. It's about 6 feet, huh?
Sure.
Whip out your penis. It's about 6 feet. Anyway, we're going to be talking about some movies. So Tim put up a test. What the hell would you call it? A challenge?
Sure. It was a challenge.
Yeah, he put up a challenge, and it was a week to do it, and now it's been a month. So it was a week to watch 7 new movies, and we got to talk about them, but now we get to talk about them again with the same enthusiasm, Tim. And I don't know.
See.
Well, at least, but now I have seen a full 7 new movies, not 5 new movies and then 2 movies I've seen before. Do you want to start us off? Do you still have your list? Do you remember? I know Parasite's one of them for you.
Sure.
Okay.
So I remember the worst one.
Which is?
Bloodshot.
Oh, yeah,
What
a
fucking terrible goddamn movie that was. Waste of my time. Don't even waste your time. If you've seen the movie, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen 93% of the movie. There's not really much left to really see. If you want to see some semi-decent action scenes, go for it.
But a lot of people are into it. Those, like, look at the Fast and Furious franchise. Has there been a good movie from the Fast and Furious franchise in years?
I would.
People like the explosions and fun.
It's been a while since they had a good one. I would argue the last good one was Fast 5, and even that one was tentative because that's where.
Dude, Tokyo Drift was the last good one.
Okay, you have opinions, and that's fine.
All right,
but this one isn't. I was expecting more like Riddick. Less like Fast and Furious action, where it was more Fast and Furious action when they were trying to make like a Riddick movie, and like
less cool shit.
Yeah,
less like detail of the world you're in and stuff.
Well, I mean, the premise of the movie is interesting on its own. It's just it's already been done, it's played out, and there's no surprise.
Right.
And then
especially because of the trailer.
The biggest problem with the movie itself is they have a character that's whole reason for existence is to help you understand the plot by beating it to death into you. That's all he does. He just
exposition.
Yes, that's his entire. And he's in the majority of the fucking movie. And like it's overall just a very bad movie. I don't understand why Vin Diesel did it because
money, Tim.
Yeah, I get it, but I thought he would do better. He does have this following of being a nerd because, he is into nerdy ass shit. He loves Dungeons and Dragons.
So maybe that's why he likes the action movie. It takes him away from the nerdy shit.
Well, no. Then he did a comic, and this Bloodshot was a comic book movie. So there's this idol of hope in him that I'm like.
He's already in a comic book movie, Tim. He's Groot.
Yeah, I know. He didn't really have much to do there, and.
I am Groot?
Oh my God. It's not like he's on stage acting.
I'm sure they did motion capture for him. You think they just came up with a big tree for him? No, it's probably Vin Diesel. Probably not. It's probably just some guy with Groot's head on top of him in a green suit.
Because they don't even need Groot. They don't need Vin Diesel there. The dude in the Groot costume has to say is "I am Groot."
Yeah, I promise you, he probably did all of his lines that day on his lunch break from Bloodshot. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an awful movie. I regretted watching it.
I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it, Tim.
It is what it is. You have a movie you'd like to discuss?
Well, could it have been better?
No.
Just the whole premise of it was bad.
If I'm going down that route, so you got two movies essentially that you're working with here. Okay, Universal Soldier, which came out back in the 80s and 90s. They had different iterations, but
and the 2000s.
Yeah, there was Universal Soldier 2000. The idea of those were they were soldiers that died in battle and they brought back to life. Same idea here, Deadshot. Okay,
like RoboCop.
Right. The other side of it that you look at is from Gamer, that movie with
that was.
So you can say
I hated that fucking movie, man.
It had an interesting concept into it, but you had to take a leap with it for it to make sense. And if you couldn't make the leap, it didn't make any sense.
Well, see, but I didn't think of the leap. Like, the only good part about that movie were the action sequences in that movie.
I mean, I would agree. Cool. But if you don't buy into the fact that there's actually technology that's like nanobots that are controlling their every move,
right?
You can't really buy into the movie. Like that, you have to take that leap with them. And if you can, it's a decent movie. It's not great, but it's a movie.
But isn't Upgrade the similar thing? But Upgrade's actually a good movie?
Okay, sure. So we got both these concepts that we're working with. So Universal Soldier, Gamer, right? Bam. We're mashing them together, essentially.
Bloodshot.
Yeah, Bloodshot. And the problem with doing that is I know how both those stories end, and they're pretty much the same.
I mean,
like, and then Bloodshot doesn't do anything new.
Right. It's kind of like Oblivion with Tom Cruise. Like, It mashes a whole bunch of stuff, but Oblivion at least mashed all the good stuff from all these science fiction movies and made a movie that was enjoyable. This movie took all of the bad things from those movies, I guess, and made something bad. Or it took the good stuff and just didn't know what to do with it.
I mean, like, if I were to do the movie, the idea that I would change with it that I think would work better is don't do the evil corporation.
Yeah, that's really played out. I'm sick and tired of Jurassic World even. I know that's not the same concept, but like the evil corporation is like, we get it. That is so done with. Like, I don't know. I'm done with evil corporations.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, duh. I have no internet connection. I was going to look up an actress's name, but I'm not going to do that now. So my first movie, will you look up for me so you can do a little name drop for me?
Sure.
Look up The Wrong Missy. So this is a movie that came out yesterday on Netflix, and it's not bad. I know you're going to hate it because the lead character is David Spade, or the lead actor is David Spade.
I see that.
It's really not a David Spade movie. Who's the chick that's in it?
Missy?
Yeah.
Lauren Lapkus?
Yeah.
Lapkus.
Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah.
So I only know her from Orange is the New Black. She was the skinny guard. But she is hilarious in the movie because she's ridiculous. She's almost too over the top, though. So with this movie, it is a funny movie.
It's funny you mentioned like her after we were talking about Jurassic Park because she was in Jurassic World.
Was she?
Yeah.
Who was she in Jurassic World? The first one?
Yeah. She was Vivian. I don't know who that was.
Oh, maybe just one of the assistants. Whatever. She is really funny in the movie, but it's one of those case of mistaken identity, I guess. So he meets her, goes on a date with her. Horrible blind date. Horrible. I mean, just hates her, tries to escape through the window in the bathroom and ends up jumping out and breaking his ankle. And then she is a certified everything. She was where are you going?
I gotta go get my vape real quick. I can't do this without Nick.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to shout over there. She is a certified everything. Like, for some reason, she's certified everything. I'm a certified CPR. I'm certified in this. I'm certified shrink. And so she snaps his ankle back into place, and then it says 3 months later. What is that for?
So I have more room.
Oh, is it more comfy?
It's not necessarily more comfortable. It's just not a big ass chair.
Anyway, so looks so cute. Busting out the lawn equipment. Do you feel like you're in church? Fold up the chairs.
Anyway, resets his ankle.
Yeah, so resets his ankle. It says 3 months later. He's in an airport, and his friend's like, hey, dude, when are you going to meet somebody new? Like, you have to take the leap of faith. And he's like, no, dude, I'm done. I'm not worried about it. And so he does this, and he goes to the airport and accidentally runs into this chick, right? Knocks all her stuff down. Gorgeous, just beautiful, supermodel looking chick. Mm-hmm. And he knocks all her stuff down. And they're like picking up the stuff, putting it back together, and then they kind of just go their separate ways. He goes aboard his airplane and realizes that he has her bag and she has his bag because they have the same bag, right? Well, they get to talking, and she goes, you know, I understand us having the same bag, but why do you have my book in your bag? And he goes, this is my book. And they both pull out the same book, and it's like, oh, they're meant to be together kind of thing. Anyway, they go to make a bad decision by hooking up in a janitor closet, and like right before they're about to have sex, her flight is about to take off. She goes, there's a business flight. I have to go. She's like, what's your number? And she gets his number. She goes, I'll text you my details. Well, as soon as she leaves, he gets a thing saying, hey, it's Melissa. He thinks it's this Melissa because she also happens to be named Melissa, but it's not. Spoiler alert, it is the Missy that he went on a horrible blind date with 3 months earlier. It takes a while to text her back, and then he finally texts her back because he didn't want to seem too eager. And they're having a corporate retreat for his business that he works for because they're doing a merger. And they're doing like a...
Are you going to tell me the whole movie?
No, just a team building thing. And then he texts her and realizes it's her when she boards the plane with him, and hilarity ensues. But I will say, she has, like, if you watch the movie, it is very funny, but it's one of those things like, oh, he's going to fall in love with this girl now. And it's like very, you know the plot, like as soon as it happens, you're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. But I think there's too many negative things about this girl that outweigh the positive, but David Spade is a dummy in this movie. Like he normally is.
Not just in the movie. Real life too.
Listen, David Spade is great. Will you bring your microphone closer to you? I can't hear you anymore. Okay, calm down, Tim.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. But honestly the funnest part about the movie is, and Sarah actually got pissed off at me about it. But basically, so everybody except for Adam Sandler and Peter Dante are in this movie. So like every time someone shows up, I'm like, oh hey, look, it's there. You know. This one guy shows up. I'm like, hey, it's Adam Sandler's nephew. And I'm like, oh, those are Adam Sandler's daughters. Oh, that's Adam Sandler's wife. And Sarah's like, are you going to fucking stop? Because like that's basically what the movie was like. It was like if you're a big Adam Sandler fan, it's like, oh, that's cool. Those people are in it. But I don't know where I was going with this. It's a funny movie.
I don't know. You're describing an awful movie to watch. So
why? If it makes you feel better.
It won't.
Okay, then I won't even say it. You know, keep it to myself.
Okay,
good. It's a funny enough movie.
I'm glad. I'm glad Netflix, you like to come onto this podcast and keep things to yourself.
Listen here. I just bit my tongue. Listen here.
Do you bite your tongue at me, sir?
I do bite my tongue at you, sir. I hate you. Anyway, somewhat funny movie. If you have Netflix, it's free. You're not doing anything right now anyway if you're unemployed, so go watch it. Enjoy yourself. It's a funny enough movie. Jesus, there. Go. Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
I got to remember other things I watched. I did check out the new animated movie, Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. I really enjoyed it.
Animated movies.
So the animation style is really good. I really enjoy it. And the main reason I really enjoy it is they really try to implement, like, if you played the new Mortal Kombat games, you were maybe familiar with, like, their X-ray moves where they zooms in and you see them crack the bones and everything like that. They really implement that in the animation they do. Like, when you see a hard-hitting move, it really goes for it. It's a little bit gory, but, I mean, again, it's animated. It's two-dimensional. Like, it's not, like, overboard gory, clearly. But my biggest gripe with it is they had to shift Scorpion over as the main character of the story, essentially. And if you're familiar with the Mortal Kombat story, Mortal Kombat story, Liu Kang is our main character through and through for at least the first two games. The third game,
and there's a reason for it,
and because he's the chosen one,
right?
But so because we're going to focus on the tragic backstory that Scorpion has, we're going to make him the main character here. Where he's the reason why Earthrealm wins. I mean, like
Scorpion is?
Yeah. They changed the story, which it's not necessarily
because he's the hero. Man.
Well, it's because this is a different medium where they can do whatever they want to, and they really want to go down the whole Quan Chi Scorpion storyline,
right?
Which, I mean, it leads to Shinnok.
Which fine,
yeah. I mean, they set it up so they can make another movie, which in the next movie, they're probably going to show Quan Chi coming back and creating Noob Saibot, which...
If they make another one.
This
has to be successful first.
They're probably going to.
Well, who
critically
produced
speaking,
it?
like this movie has done extremely well so far. It's done very well in buys.
Who produced it, though? That's what I'm saying.
Warner Brothers.
Okay. So, yeah, Warner Brothers also does DC stuff. So, yeah, it'll have a sequel.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I was wondering, because like if it's like a one-off person, then it's probably not going to get anything.
I'm pretty sure it's Warner Brothers Studios and NetherRealm did it together. So, that's why it has the animation style it does. I mean... This like
because didn't they do the same animation style in the new Batman movie? Didn't they have a new Batman animated movie?
Are you talking about The Killing Joke?
No, it just recently dropped. I just saw it on YouTube Movies yesterday.
I have not seen it.
I might be lying. It might be. It's one of the DC characters. I know that, but I believe it's Batman.
No, I don't know of anything else they've come out with recently.
But they've all been like similar enough art style, right?
I mean, the art style is kind of similar. There is more of a Japanese influence in this one, which I mean, I think is a good thing because it progresses to a right way. Don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily enjoy how characters are drawn in Japanese art styles, but I love how they do with their animation, how they actually make characters move and stuff like that, how the fluidity that they have created.
No, I agree. If we could have like Thundercats art style, but have the action parts just be anime, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Like that's the one thing I really do enjoy about it. But yeah, this movie, if you enjoy Mortal Kombat, I would say watch it. You have to watch it. If you don't really enjoy Mortal Kombat, you're a fan of animation, this is a pretty decent movie to watch for just the animation's sake.
Yeah, but I would say, but then there's people like me. I don't really like the anime look of it. Mm-hmm. I do like Mortal Kombat, but I'm more of I want to play one time through the story and then maybe unlock a couple of characters and I'm good.
You know, they're coming out with an expansion.
Yeah, I saw with RoboCop.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought that was pretty dope. I was like, I mean, because do you remember, it wasn't Mortal Kombat. It was, I think it was Soul Calibur back in the day where they had Spawn, Yoda, and...
Did you see how much the expansion is?
Is it expensive?
It's $40.
Get the fuck out of here. They're making a new game? Like what?
Well, they're expanding the storyline. Like... I can't remember how much the more they're putting in it. They're adding 3 more characters with RoboCop.
So are you getting it is the question.
No, I'm not getting it because I spent $100 to buy the complete legendary edition where I'm going to get everything. Don't worry about it. We got you, bud.
Oh, so this doesn't count?
No.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck you.
I guess I'll have to watch Chappie play it online.
Chappie's probably going to get it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Chappie will get... I don't know if Chappie knows this, but they make regular versions of games. That dude is like, he's like, oh yeah, I got the limited edition day one premium silver starter pack. You know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Chappie, how much you spend on that? $200? Why? You're gonna play that game for a week and be done with it.
Probably.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Mortal Kombat 11 one was pretty dope with the scorpion mask. I was like, that's pretty dope. But you know. You're going to be one of those guys that have like a scorpion figurehead in your room?
No.
Fuck these chairs, man. I hit my head. Anyway, all right. So my next movie.
Yep. It's on you, man.
I guess we can talk about What We Do in the Dark, or what We Do in the Shadows, which is the dark. What We Do in the Shadows, a Taika Waititi movie. Fucking hilarious. It is very much in the vein of like, it's like a documentary style. It's someone who's actually in the house with these vampires that is following them around, and they're just kind of goofy. Like they're not, they were sent to a place to be vampires, and they decided to just be lazy about it. So they're just in the house being...
Fuck them people.
Yeah, fuck them. You know? They're not even people. They're fucking vampires, man. They're nothing. Blade would kill these motherfuckers. But no, seriously.
You're damn right he would.
It is...
You're damn right.
I'm sorry. I cannot wait for the new Blade movie, dude. Like, when that thing comes out, we're going to review that shit day one. That looks amazing. What is that?
I have no faith. But...
You don't have any faith in Marvel? Marvel?
Not with that one.
Because it's supposed to be dark and shit?
Yeah. I'm worried about it looking like Ghost Rider.
Why?
Because why would Ghost Rider look like Ghost Rider?
no, but that's not. It's not the same team.
Okay.
Completely different team.
Tell me how great those Punisher movies were.
Again, that's not part of the MCU.
Oh.
So those don't count.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The original Blades count though.
Oh. Okay.
That's how that works.
My bad.
Just the first two though, not the third one. Blade Trinity was a travesty. Anyway, What We Do in the Shadows, really funny movie. I can't fucking remember his name. Who ended up actually being the funniest because like Taika Waititi was in it, but he wasn't like in it. But the guy who plays Boris the Animal from Men in Black 3 fucking killed it. I thought he was hilarious. I want to see him in more stuff because like this movie came out.
Go watch Flight of the Conchords.
Is it any good?
Sure.
Is it bad?
No.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's a different type of comedy.
Okay.
It's not for everybody, I'll tell you that. If you either really enjoy it or you don't like it.
Is it like Youth in Revolt kind of comedy?
Similar?
Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't like, I don't know. I need my comedy to just be the same shit all the time, you know?
You like slapstick.
I do. I love watching people get hurt. Like that shit's funny, but only when it looks convincing. Because for example, the first thing that popped in my head was what is it? Look Who's Here, Daddy's Home. All right, Daddy's Home. When he drives the motorcycle through the house and like crashes out the wall and like falls down, it's like it looks so fake. It's like it's not funny at that point. Like I need some like Three Stooges, like getting hit in the face with like a shovel, like that kind of stuff. That's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll hit you in the face with a shovel.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I fucking heard.
All right. Anyway, what's your next movie, bud?
It's this really cool movie I watched called Three Dudes and a Shovel. No.
Who's the third dude? You're just inviting people over to hit me in the face with a shovel?
Yeah.
All right.
I need a witness. Somebody to hold the camera.
Camera's got a tripod, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Two dudes and a shovel. No,
It's like Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah.
We're going to shit in a shovel, bro.
I made that joke the other day.
How does that joke come up? How is there a joke in there? It's not funny.
It's always funny.
It's traumatizing, Tim. It's not a funny video.
I'm telling you right now.
If you guys haven't seen, go look up Two Girls, One Cup and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I don't even know if that video still exists.
I guarantee it was on the internet, dude. It exists somewhere. It's on the dark web.
The dark web.
Yeah. Anytime you buy Molly online, they send you that video.
Do they?
Yeah.
I had no
idea. They say, here's your tracking link, and they go, that's Two Girls, One Cup.
I don't believe that's true.
It's not, but that'd be funny.
So
don't buy Molly, kids.
Yeah.
Don't do
Speaking of kids, the next movie I want to talk about is a kids movie. It's one that you tried to get me to watch, or told me I needed to watch. You did watch episode 2 of Letterkenny, and even though you didn't like it,
I want to like, because I feel bad. Like, obviously, if you like it, there's something there, but there's just something about it. It doesn't draw me in. I don't know. I'm a basic bitch. I like The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Superstore, like the same comedy, different setting.
Anyway,
Any
Hoosers. I went ahead and watched Onward on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah,
and I have to say it was a fantastic movie. Like
brotherly love, buddy.
It was unexpected how emotional the ending was going to be. Like I did not see that coming. It was overall like I really loved the setting. Like I loved how they created this fantasy land and they filled it full of fucking lore, and it was wonderful. It was a great story, and I really enjoyed watching it. I loved how funny the dad was, just even as the comic relief, and how it played out the way it did. It just is very enjoyable.
How funny a dad could be without a face,
right? Or a body.
Yeah, I didn't want to do spoiler alert stuff,
If you've seen the trailer, you know
he doesn't have a body. He's just legs.
He's just legs.
He's like Cow and Chicken's parents.
And then I love the Pixie Gang. They were hilarious.
That was funny. I like that they drove full-size motorcycles.
So just all around, I really enjoyed that movie, and it had a lot of really good moments in it, a lot of emotional stuff. It was just, I don't know, it was really good. I can't praise it enough. It was very enjoyable.
Well, it was nice to see. I would say a return to form. I haven't seen the last couple of Pixar movies because they look terrible, like The Good Dinosaur and stuff like that.
I really enjoyed The Good Dinosaur.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not a return to form. It's just a status quo.
The Good Dinosaur, honestly, was probably more emotional than Onward.
Really? Did they die of a meteor at the end?
No.
Oh.
No. Not to spoil the movie or anything like that, but there's a goodbye at the end of the movie between the little boy and the dinosaur.
It's very sad.
Oh, it's very sad.
As sad as the one in Ice Age?
This one I would argue is worse. I mean, like, the dynamic in the movie is almost like you look at the dinosaur as a person, and then you look at the kid as a pet, and like that's how you see it like the entire movie through. And so when the goodbye happens, you really get it from the perspective of the dinosaur, and so it just makes it much more emotional.
Right?
Like
I got you.
It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it.
So Onward wasn't as good as The Good Dinosaur. Good to know.
No, I didn't say that. If you're looking for emotional value and you're looking for a good cry, go watch The Good Dinosaur. But if you're looking for a fun movie to watch, Onward is much more fun. Like,
okay, because it has Chris Pratt in it.
Well, it has magic. It has so much in it. Like, just so much. You look at it and you're just like, oh man, I want to learn more. When you watch The Good Dinosaur, it's set in prehistoric times.
Right,
and guess
everything's
what?
already happened.
We all kind of already know what happens, okay? We all know what those plants look like. Like, no surprises.
I got you.
That's my feeling about that.
Solid.
So how about you? You got another movie you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, I saw one, and I think you've seen it, and I didn't like it in the slightest, besides one character, and that was the Black Klansman.
I haven't seen it, actually.
Oh, you haven't seen it? No. So it's Spike Lee being Spike Lee, because all I'm going to ever remember Spike Lee for is him hating on Django Unchained for the liberal use of the N-word, because Quentin Tarantino is white compared to Spike Lee being black. He can say it as much, or he can have his character say it as much as possible, because Adam Driver in that movie, phenomenal. All right. Like really, really great. But the rest of the movie, the main character in there, the black guy, the Afro guy, I have no feelings towards him. Like, he's just a placeholder kind of guy. And it was a cool concept. Also, Topher Grace is he's just a bad actor, dude. So he plays David Duke in it. And I'm like, I don't believe that you're the king of the racists. Right? I don't see it.
I see it.
But overall, like, the best part of the movie is towards the end when they defeat the bad guys, kind of. Like, they don't take down the KKK, obviously, but...
Why? Is the KKK still around?
I don't think so, you know?
Did we lose racism?
Yeah, I think racism is over in this country. Donald Trump got rid of them.
No way.
He signed a declaration. It goes, no more racism. Wow. Yeah. I think he snuck it into
2020, man.
He snuck it into the border wall agreement. He was like, oh, we're building a border wall and also no more racism.
Maybe coronavirus only targets racists.
Wouldn't that be great? That'd be fantastic. Von Miller got the coronavirus. What are you talking about?
He could be racist.
Yeah, he could be. Racist against his own people. You know, you can only be racist if you're white.
That's not true.
It's a fact.
That is not true.
Name one racist person that wasn't white.
That wasn't white?
Uh-huh. Can't name one.
Harriet Tubman.
How? How is she racist?
She hated Mexicans, dude.
Okay.
Everybody did at that time.
Anyway, so the Black Klansman, I didn't think was that good. It got good reviews. And I actually almost didn't watch it because I mixed it up somehow. I guess because I'm racist. Mix it up with sorry to call you, or sorry to bother you, with the black guy does the white guy voice on the phone.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I'm aware of your.
Yeah, I watched like 10 minutes of that movie. I'm like, I don't care. So I mix it up with that, and like Sarah's like, yeah, we should watch it. I'm like, we've seen it. Remember, we turned it off, and then we started watching. I was like, oh, this is a different movie. But it was very heavily, like, if you're black, you'd probably like the movie. But like me, it just like, I felt like I was being attacked, like just being white, not even, you know, you don't have to be racist. It was just Spike Lee, like being like, look, this is.
See, that's how I know you're only half white, because if you're a full white, you can ignore all that attacking.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You get special powers, and you can ignore people looking down on you.
Is it called privilege?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? That's
exactly
a special power.
Called. It's a shield, really.
Fucking stupid. And the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a black guy. That's funny. Fuck you.
Yeah, recently.
Okay. Anyway.
We lost that one. I don't know how.
So the Black Klansman.
Nick Fury used to be a cool white dude. Now he's some bald black guy. I don't know.
He's a cool black guy.
No, I wouldn't say cool.
Samuel Jackson is like the coolest of black guys. Yeah, you're right. Besides like Wesley Snipes. That's it. Wesley Snipes is it. Wesley Snipes, Samuel Jackson, every other black actor. Who else is up there? Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Sure. Denzel?
Oh, yeah. Denzel's a cool guy.
Denzel's probably the top of the list.
My man. Anyway, so yeah, watch that. It was an okay movie.
Terry Crews?
See, no, he's not cool. Have you ever listened to him talk in real life? He's like super emotional shit. He's kind of a little bitch. Those muscles could beat the shit out of me, but he's kind of a little bitch.
I am so glad you talking big here.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love Terry Crews.
Yeah, but he's a little bit of a bitch.
But I'm talking about cool black guy. I guarantee you, Denzel Washington in real life is just who he plays on screen. Terry Crews plays a big hard ass, but he's a big softy inside. And that's cool to hang out with, but he's a pussy. He's going to beat the fuck out of me.
I doubt it because he's not going to waste his time listening to this. But I hope he does beat the fuck out of you.
Oh.
For the story.
I hope you get it on video.
I hope so too.
Dude, if I got the shit, I would never do anything else. I'd be like, I got the piss beaten out of me by Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Like that's like the coolest story. If I survive, you know.
You probably will.
I don't know, dude. Have you ever seen, I think he was the one that did the watermelon thing. He like smashed it in his arms. No, maybe it was James Harrison. It was some fucking ridiculously muscular guy. He just like smashed a watermelon. That's Terry Crews, all right? He can rip a phone book in half for sure.
So?
You can't rip a phone book in half.
I'm not saying they can.
So I'm saying he could destroy me.
He wouldn't, though. He has self-control.
Oh, no. You know why he wouldn't? Because he's a pussy. I'm joking. I take it back. Terry Crews is a cool guy. Anyway.
I can. I hope you meet him and you constantly just call him a pussy until he fights you.
Nah. You know, oh my God. What am I talking about? Coolest black guy ever, Mike Tyson. I wouldn't call that guy a pussy. That's for sure. Have you seen him? He's gotten back in fighting form.
He's not going to fight anybody.
You don't think so?
No.
Dude, him and Evander Holyfield? It could happen.
Why? Because Evander wants to lose another fucking ear?
He only lost a part of his ear. People over-exaggerate that. They said he bit his ear off. Then I watched the fight. He takes a little chunk off the top of his ear.
He bit his ear?
Okay. Shouldn't have pulled away.
He shouldn't have bit his ear.
You're right. But Mike Tyson can do whatever he wants.
You're right. He actually, if you have HBO right now, don't you?
No.
No?
I would have HBO.
You were watching shit on HBO a few weeks ago, so I assumed
No. It's a add-on to Hulu. It's like some HBO stuff.
Oh.
Why?
Well, if you get the chance, on the HBO, Mike Tyson's Undisputed Truth is on there. Undisputed Truth?
Yeah, I think it's Undisputed.
Undisputed Truth. And it's actually really good. And he goes through, it's like, kind of like a Q&A where he just kind of talks and he's just going through different stories and whatnot. It's really good. If you like Mike Tyson at all, and it's really eye-opening to some things that happened to him.
Who doesn't like Mike Tyson besides Evander Holyfield?
I mean...
Because he has one of the greatest lines in sports history. I'm going to fuck you till you love me.
You can say whatever you want to, man. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you how to speak.
Yeah, I'll probably edit that part out.
No, you don't have to, man. You should own up to it, or else you're a pussy. Yeah, like Terry Crews.
I'll edit that part out, too. It's going to be a 20-minute podcast. What was I going to say?
But yeah, so the Undisputed Truth. I mean, honestly, it's really interesting. Like,
is that one of your 7? No, so shut the fuck up. Go to your next one.
It could be one of my 7.
Yeah, it could be.
Go on to the next one.
Yeah, I think it's your turn, right? I said the Black Klansman.
I don't remember other things that I've watched.
Michael B. Jordan's another cool black guy. Damn, dude.
Tyler Perry, coolest black guy. White people love him.
Him as Medea or Joe, Grandpa Joe. That's a cool black guy. But Tyler Perry himself is like, he was in Star Trek, dude. How cool can you be? Lenny Kravitz, that's another cool black guy. Welcome into the Cool Black Guy podcast.
Anyway.
Which is named Cool Black Guys.
So, another movie that I watched came out in February this year. It's called The Way Back. Stars Ben
Trolls
Affleck.
World Tour.
No, I did not. Have you heard about all that shit?
What shit?
You know, who makes Trolls? Who do you remember who made the movie?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks?
Yeah. I thought you meant like the actual dolls.
No. Trolls World Tour. I can't speak.
Oh, AMC?
AMC.
Yeah. They were like,
no.
You're breaking contract. We're fucking breaking contract. We're not showing any Universal and DreamWorks pictures anymore.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? And they made so much money. Trolls made so much money with selling it. Just like,
did they?
Yeah. They made more money than they made ever in the theaters. So they just took out the middleman, and AMC's like, fine, fuck it. We don't want to do it anymore.
Right. But here's the problem. That's going to shoot AMC in the foot because like we could see a world where theaters don't come back.
Oh, yeah.
And that blows my mind because yes, it is neat that a brand new movie, like imagine some movie you're hyped for, but it's not like a theatrical movie, like a comedy, right? How great would it be if you could just rent it from your living room? You don't have to worry about anything. And like $20 is not a crazy acting price. If you have 2 or 3 friends over, boom, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about it. Like $20 is a little steep if you're one person. And like those are the people I see complaining. They're like, why would I pay $20 when I can go to the movies and pay $8? Because you can't fucking go to the movies anymore, right? So if movie theaters shut down, the only problem I have with that, because I mean we saw it with Blockbuster and shit like that. People are like, where the fuck are you going to rent your movies from? Well, every movie ever is online right now.
Right.
But the only problem I see with that is movies like Endgame, movies that are huge, epic masterpieces. Most people, for some reason, don't give a fuck about sound. And sound is like 2/3 of the movie, man. Like it really immerses you. You can have, don't even.
I'd give you half, maybe.
No, listen. Okay, well, fine. Let's go with half. But I'm saying you can watch something that's like 480p, but with amazing like Dolby Digital surround sound, and you can enjoy the movie. Mm-hmm. But if you get a fucking 4K movie and the sound is all, garbled mess, you don't enjoy it as much. So sound is a huge part of it. So a lot of these people are renting it on their TVs that have horrible fucking speakers. They don't invest any money in a sound bar at least, or let alone a surround sound system. So they're watching these movies, and I think it might impact their opinion on those movies. You know what I mean? When you see something like Avatar, I hate the movie, but it is a spectacle to see, right? So imagine seeing that and being like, it was all right. You know what I mean? Because you didn't have that extra part, that half, like you say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it.
I think it's a detriment.
I don't think theaters will go away because, I mean, I think they're going to change to the theaters that are left standing are going to be like rude. The theaters that'll be left standing will be something like the Alamo Draft House or Star Cinema Grill. Like those are going to be the ones that really stick around because
like
they have
kind of stuff.
Because they have that date night kind of feel, and that's something that will always stick around. But the only other ones that I think have a chance of really making it are IMAXs.
Yeah, because
IMAXs are a spectacle in and of themselves. And there are movies that come out every single year that really use IMAX to its fullest capacity.
Or shoot on IMAX cameras that really take advantage of that stuff. And you're like, holy shit.
And so places that have that IMAX feature are places that'll stick around too. But it's the places that haven't changed, that haven't moved up.
The Grand.
Like the Grand being a great example of that. The one in Huntsville, even though they survive off of students, and that's why students go there and they pay $3 to go see a movie, but they're going to go out of business because people, are going to be able to watch movies at home. Because it's not only is it so easy to do that now, it's even easier to illegally watch them for free than it ever has been. And nobody gives a fuck.
I give a fuck.
I mean,
I've told, who was it? Somebody was telling me, they're like, oh, just watch it for free in my house. I'm like, if everyone thought like you, then we wouldn't have movies anymore, because who is going to produce a movie for millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, to know for a fact that everyone's going to download it illegally? There'd be no point. Like, oh, for the art. No, it's not for the fucking art. It's for the profit. All right. There are artists within that range, but the person producing the movie, the person that's putting their money on the line, they need to see a return. All right. That's why they're putting the money on the line. They're not doing it because, like, I love movies. It's not Kevin Smith. Hey, I really like movies. Let me fucking spend every dime I have to make this movie.
I mean, it could be like Kevin Smith. You don't know.
Yeah, but that's all we'd have. We'd have a whole bunch of low budget
Passion projects.
And maybe we need the reset. You know, a lot of people complain about like NFL players getting paid too much. Maybe we need that reset. Like, let's push them back down and then let it build back up. Because eventually there's a breaking point with movies. You know what I mean?
Well,
eventually movies get too expensive. What's the highest what is the highest price you'd pay to go see a new movie that you're excited for? Opening day, you're going in
for a single ticket?
For one ticket. How much are you paying?
Am I going to a midnight release or
whatever?
If I was going for a midnight release, most I would ever pay $20.
Okay.
25, maybe 25.
All right, and it's getting close to that range, right? I mean, we went and saw a movie. I forgot what it was, but the only thing they had available was 3D, right? And then they keep trying to push these technologies that don't make any sense. So like 3D is neat. It's not a necessity. D-Box is neat. It's not a fucking necessity. But there's D-Box seats that are 3D that are like $20+ for one ticket. It's like, what the fuck? You're investing in the wrong stuff. Well, I'm not going to pay extra for that stuff. The reason they do it, I get it, because that's pure profit for the theaters.
Right.
The studios have nothing to do with that. And I get it because like a regular ticket, they're getting nothing off the top of that. They're hoping that you go to concessions and you didn't sneak in candy that you got at Walgreens right before the movie started. So
it's just the movie industry is going to change. Just kind of like how music had to change.
With the downloadables?
Yeah.
And you don't buy albums anymore. When's the last time you bought a full album for somebody?
For somebody?
No, I mean like you like Post Malone. Have you bought his full album? No.
No. I mean the last full album I probably bought was a couple years ago.
You know what mine was?
Huh.
Meteora by Linkin Park.
Oh.
How long ago was that? Like 2000?
That's not true. Didn't you buy Tenacious D's new one, Rise of the Phoenix?
Nope.
You didn't buy it?
Oh. I have several songs from it, but I picked and choose what I got from it.
Okay.
I guess that is a lie. I have bought an album digitally. I'm talking about on CD. That's my bad.
Well, I haven't bought a physical CD in too fucking long.
So digitally, I think the last album I bought was Tenacious D, but it was Pick a Destiny. I bought the movie also.
But the music industry had to change, and a lot of it had to do with pirating music. And now they have, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and it's turned into
Spotify.
It's turned into, well, you can make music, but these people are going to pay a really low price, and depending on how many plays you get is how much you're going to get paid. And it's kind of fucked up. I mean, it's really fucked up.
So do you think they're going to have movie subscriptions, is what you're saying?
I think, well, with the way Netflix and Hulu have gone, that they are slowly moving towards that, especially with Hulu matching up with HBO the way they have. Starz is even a package you can get with Hulu now.
Oh, really?
And Hulu is already combined with Disney. They're also combined with ESPN.
Yeah, Disney fucking changed. Like, they reset the game when they brought out Disney Plus.
Yeah, they've really changed everything. But Hulu could go to any. I would say they can go to any studio they want to and have direct releases to Hulu. But what they're doing, and the same thing Netflix has done, is they've created their own studio, so they can do that. They don't have to go somewhere else.
I think Netflix would arguably be the biggest besides Disney,
and so
it's biggest standalone.
So the thing you have left is you're going to have all these other movie producing companies. You're going to have, Miramax. You're going to have Columbia. You're going to have Paramount. You're going to have
Miramax. They make like The Crying Game.
The piano and The Crying Game.
Is that what it was? I'm over here mixing up.
But you're going to have those companies, and they're eventually going to be making movies that aren't going to be making money. I mean, you can only do Michael Bay fucking movies so often that people are eventually just going to stop that shit. So before you start.
Okay, sorry.
So what you're
to do this.
No, I know, but I was just going to stop you. So what this is going to end up leaving is somebody's going to go after Netflix.
To buy them?
Buy them. One of those production companies is going to go for it. I'm calling it right now. I think it's going to be Columbia.
I think it's going to be Google. I think Google goes after it.
It very well could happen. But I think Columbia is going to end up being partnered with Netflix. Okay? The other option is Universal Studios, but they're already partnered with Disney. So can't go that way. The reason it's going to happen is they're going to try and be the oldest company left standing. Because even though Walt Disney right now, Paramount is actually the oldest production company in the United States right now.
I did not know that.
And then Disney and Columbia were very close together when they started as well. By having that, trying to keep one of the old ones still alive, I feel like is a very important thing. And it's going to help move things forward. But you're going to see Miramax probably die. Weinstein, obviously, that's obviously the end of them. But these other smaller production companies are going to kind of... I don't think they're going to go out because indie is going to become a much bigger thing.
So do you think it's going to be like a lot of indies and then smaller releases for bigger movies?
It's going to be a lot of indies partnered with like Hulu and Netflix. That's the medium that they're going to be able to release their stuff through.
Gotcha.
Plus, they can get a little bit of a kickback from Hulu or Netflix to get some budget into the whole thing, which is a great benefit for them. But there's no point in having these colossally huge movies anymore, especially with Disney really owning that stage.
Right.
Nobody is even really coming close to them.
No, Disney.
With how big they make things. I mean, you take the MCU for what it is. I mean, that is just huge on its own. But take Star Wars. I mean, I fucking hated the last movie, but still, it was a huge fucking thing.
Like, I watched it the other day and I couldn't get through it.
No.
I was like, fuck this movie. Like, it makes me appreciate The Last Jedi even more. And I just love that people think The Last Jedi is a worse movie than 9. And I'm like, no, dude, 9 is fucking
bad.
trash.
Like, why the fuck? Anyway.
Why doesn't Kylo Ren talk a single time in the last hour of the movie?
I had no idea. But with this being said, the focus is going to be more on indie films. And that's what people want. Honestly, I mean, look at the majority of films that come out nowadays. You're not.
Well, people want originality,
right?
We're getting the same shit pumped out of Hollywood day in and day out. It's like, okay, we fucking get it, and you're lowering your audience. I mean, you do get a small percentage of new people that don't know what this movie that you're remaking is, but like the fucking remake was, it's Doolittle, for example. The fucking last movie came out, 2006 maybe. Not that long ago. Mm-hmm. It's the only people you're getting are the young kids, but like the adults that grew up with the original fucking Doolittle, the white the white guy, and then you had arguably, I mean, maybe because I grew up with him, but Eddie Murphy's Doolittle, mm-hmm. and then now you have Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle, which was fucking terrible. But it, stuff like that. They keep pumping out remakes, reboots, different takes on stuff. It's like it doesn't really work. Like, I don't know. I think personally, because I think that actually, I hadn't heard that side. That makes a lot of sense. I think we're going to see a lot less movies and more series. Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more shows because people that are interested in the character, what would you rather watch? A 2.5 hour long movie, and then for a sequel, it has to be greenlit and all this different shit. But for a sequel, you got to wait 2, 3, 4, 17 years, depending on, what movie it is.
Right.
You have to wait all these years for a sequel, and that sequel might not even live up to the original. Whereas a series, you get like most series are 30 minutes to an hour. So let's just say it's an hour. All right. You have an hour per episode, 10 episodes long. And then as long as it does well enough, you get a next one that next year. You know what I mean? It's very rare that a series goes multiple years without having something else.
Well, and this also leads me to another point that I have about like the landscape of movies and everything like that. I mean, because movies are storytelling, and I agree with you. A lot of things are moving more towards the TV side, episodic things, more creating a series, having much more time to flesh out ideas and be able to do a longer story to create a more complete story. But I feel like that is something that is a lot easier, and it's also beneficial to the consumer because it's easier for us to consume.
Right.
It gives
Small
us something.
chunks.
It gives us something more to chew on. But movies themselves are complete standalone stories, and I feel like there is some merit in being able to tell a really great story for 2 hours that is end to end perfect.
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I like movies more than series.
I'm not saying you are, but what I'm saying is that is going to turn into a different art form for writers, especially in a comedy landscape. But when you look at writers throughout, more writers nowadays are working on TV shows than they are movies, more so than any other time in history. Okay? It is much more, if you're writing right now, you are writing something for tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And that's how it is. While there are very few writers that actually get a chance to focus on a single solitary project and really flesh it out, I feel like that should lead to better movies, but in recent years, we have seen a decline in the quality of movies time and time again. And the movies that are doing extremely well aren't big production movies.
Well, the ones that are doing too well, like, are just done, like Fast and Furious. I know I'm going to bring it up again, but it makes fucking $1 billion a movie. All they do is put out a thing that says Fast and Furious on it. It fucking makes $1 billion. Nobody has to write those movies.
I get what you're saying, and when I said doing well, I did not mean monetarily.
I was talking about
I was talking
how good.
I was talking more critically and like award level. But yes, I mean that's also a big thing too. What does well monetarily is very different than what does well critically,
right?
And what does well when it comes to the awards and whatnot. And I feel like that's a huge problem as well because it makes a clash of culture.
Well, it makes the producer go, oh, well, let's just make 10 more of these fucking movies than make good movies.
Yeah. And that's what big production companies have done. They have tried to go after money and less quality there. While indies are all about quality because they can't afford the quantity.
Right, and they have to make the quality, otherwise they're not going to get to make another quality.
Right.
They have to make it work.
So, I mean, like, that's one big reason why I feel like production companies in and of themselves, the big ones, the empires are starting to fall. They have to. People have to move on. But there has to be an empire that sticks around to fight fucking Disney. Because you can't just let them win.
Yeah, you can.
They're fucking Nazis, man. All right?
Anti-Semitic.
Whatever. All right?
And that was just Disney, okay? It's moved on since then. You're saying they're anti-Semitic now?
Still, yeah. When was the last time you went to Disney World?
I've never been to Disney World.
Because you're Jewish.
Okay, I don't know how we got to this point. No, I will agree with you on several of those points. I think, don't get me wrong, I like indie type movie. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows, perfect example. That is a low budget movie, but it's entertaining, it's fun, and you can see that it was a project for Taika Waititi because it was a short, got turned into a movie, and now he has a series on FX, or I guess it's on Hulu. I don't know. It says FX, Hulu, whatever, but it is a smaller thing. Doesn't cost a lot to have one camera in a house just turning between two people having dialogue. You know, there's no explosions and crazy stuff happening. So it's very practical. I mean, hell, if I ever got a script together and I could film something, that'd be great. You know, I'd love to. But yeah, I'm bringing that up again.
Yeah, apparently.
Still
Can't
waiting
let it
on
go.
my fucking script, man. Listen, you're good with words. I'm not.
I'm not good with words. Have you not been listening to me fumble the entire time we've been talking here?
Well, it's just because you're comfortable around me. I don't know.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Must be.
No.
No.
Okay.
I have actually something I need to talk to you about after this podcast is done, but it has to do with something that I've realized from here. But we can go back. Or do we still have time to talk about some movies? Because
yeah, we still have time. I mean, there's not a time limit on this thing, man.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was talking about the way back, and then
we're getting close to an hour, though.
I was going to talk about the way back, and then we brought up Trolls World Tour, and that.
All right, so the way back.
that had to jump. So the way back, if you saw the trailer, it looks like a Coach Carter ripoff with Ben Affleck as the cool black guy, apparently.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. It has really little to do with the basketball team, and it's mostly about Ben Affleck's journey with alcoholism and kind of goes through the tragedy of why his life turned out the way it did, and you kind of feel for the guy in all sorts of ways. I loved the movie. This was Ben Affleck coming back, being like, listen, I know all the Batman shit. You guys had a problem with it, whatever. I'm here to fucking act. Watch me fucking act.
Right.
And he fucking nailed it.
Because he's a fucking phenomenal actor.
He did an amazing job. The rest of the cast in the movie, not really a whole lot of standout performances, I would say. I mean, some of them they're good performances. Nothing really stands out, though.
It's like Gran Torino.
Ben Affleck is definitely the main character that you really focus on. There is a kid that is a part of the basketball team that Ben Affleck takes a real interest into, and he really tries to help this kid. And he does a really great job. I mean, you really feel for him as well. But throughout the entire thing, it's all about Ben Affleck. Like, It's all about his character. And it's an amazing story. I don't want to ruin anything for it, because if you haven't seen it or you don't know what happens,
go and watch it.
It's such a shock, but it's a part of the movie. You need to be shocked. You know, you need to feel it with him.
Get shooketh.
I mean, I watched the movie with my mom, and I'll be real honest. She got real pissed that I put it on. I watched it, and I cried twice. I got a little misty at one point, and then I actually cried at another point. My mom, she cried like 6 times throughout the movie. Like there's moments all throughout it, and it is so well done that it's not so overbearing, and I really enjoy the story that they're trying to tell.
You know, it's funny that you bring up watching something with your mom. So Sarah put on a movie the other day, and I wasn't going to watch it because I was like, oh, I can't watch this, because the first time I tried to watch it, I watched it with my mom. We got like, I don't know, 20 minutes in or something like that, and she told me to turn that shit off because it was uncomfortable as shit. And that's I Love You, Philip Morris. Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because I've heard you tell me that part of the story before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was super uncomfortable.
I pay attention to your life, Holiday. So we are best friends.
So I've never given the movie a chance, and Sarah puts it on. Holy shit. Is that a good, sad, fucked up movie, man? It's funny. Jim Carrey acts his ass off. Ewan McGregor is just great, as he always is. But there's a part where Ewan McGregor is talking to Jim Carrey. He believes something is happening to Jim Carrey, and someone tells him that thing has happened, and he just breaks down in tears, and it got me, man. I was like, fuck, man, this is a sad movie. I thought it was like a comedy that about 2 gay lovers, but it ended up being like, I don't know, like it was one of Jim Carrey's best characters. Like usually, you know, Jim Carrey's the funny guy. Yes Man, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, all this different stuff. He's very pure in his comedy. Right. This one, like his character had layers. He was just this con man that was just a piece of shit, but you could see that he cared for Steven, which is Ewan McGregor's character, and it's just really, really good. I don't know. I don't know. It was a good movie, man. So if you haven't seen that and you like Jim Carrey, Ewan McGregor, go and watch it because it's so, so good.
That sounds good.
Thank you, Sarah, for turning me on to that movie because I would have never given it a second chance.
What are you thinking, her? She ain't going to listen to this.
She might.
She won't.
She's the love of my life. Maybe she listens to this and doesn't tell me.
She doesn't.
I got her some AirPods recently. Maybe she listens to our podcast when she's walking around the house.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, probably. But don't crush my dreams, man.
Somebody has to.
Okay, fine. I can make this our highlight video on Instagram, and then she'll know that I mentioned her. I won't.
Why not?
Because there's nothing highlighting about it. There's nothing interesting about that clip just then. I was just saying, I love you, Philip Morris. Good movie. Go check it out. It's pretty good.
I love you, Sarah.
I love you, Sarah.
There you go.
You're the best.
That's highlight worthy. I can't read.
Listen, man, that was like episode 2. Get over it. I can read. Look, I'll read right now. Give me something to read. You're being judgmental right now. It says judgmental. Don't even.
It does not say judgmental.
What does it say?
It says.
Shut the fuck up. You're trying to make up another word that's close enough to judgmental. What is this? This is a card game?
Yeah, it's some. I don't know. I haven't opened it.
I see that. It's still wrapped in plastic.
It's my brother gave it to me for Christmas.
Oh, it's being a good holder for my phone.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Anyway, what's your next movie, man?
The last movie that I have
is
Parasite.
Parasite
is a fantastic film that won the Oscar for Best Picture this year.
And like everything, didn't it? It won like 3 things.
It won Best Foreign Film, and it also won Best Original Screenplay.
I've been tempted. I'm not going to lie. I see it on Hulu, and I'm like...
The only problem that you'd have with it, subtitles.
Why is that a problem? I watched Passion of the Christ
like
30 times.
Well, I mean, you don't like watching subtitles in general.
Right. I didn't like the Passion of the Christ, but that's where they kept taking us for church.
But the movie's set in South Korea. It is in Korean. So if you can get past reading it...
Great movie.
It's fantastic, dude. Like, I cannot praise it enough. It is...
I feel bad because I think you're right. I think you're right about that. The subtitle thing, because I also still want to watch The Raid, and I haven't because it's dubbed. Or not dubbed.
Subbed.
Subbed, yeah. Sub, not dubbed.
No, this movie, it tackles a lot of issues. Mostly it's about class, the different class systems that exist within our society to this day. And they do it through the South Korean kind of class system that they already have set up. I don't want to go at all really into the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to. It's on Hulu right now.
Just know it won Best Picture.
Right. The director, I can't remember what his name is, Bong Joon-ho or something like that.
You have your, let's just say a racist fucking name that you can think of.
It's not far off.
His name is Kim Jong-pao. Like, you just make up some bullshit ass name.
Let's see here. Bong Joon-ho.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
My bad. Bong Joon-ho.
You weren't far off. Good job.
He's done a few other films. I saw his other one, Snowpiercer, with Chris Evans.
Yeah, they're making a show about that.
Yeah. He's done some other things. He even says that you need to go into the movie cold, and I agree. You should go into this movie completely cold. The only thing you really need to know is
set my thermostat to like 65.
Mm-hmm. Only thing you really need to know is you need to watch the movie, it's going to be in subtitles. You need to pay attention to the subtitles, and the only thing that I would tell you need to pay attention to while watching is pay attention to his use of stairs and hills, because it's all a part of the storytelling that he's trying to tell you. Stairs are the biggest part of the entire story.
So basically, lower class at the bottom of the stairs, higher class at the top of the stairs.
And you'll notice that he shows that different ways throughout the entire movie. And it even goes as far as to tackle like an issue of climate change and how it actually affects the different classes.
Right.
And that's something that I really enjoyed. But overall, this was easily the best movie made last year. And I could possibly even go say it was the movie of the decade. Like, it was that fucking good.
You know, Endgame came out last year, right? You gonna put this above Endgame?
This is perfect storytelling.
Dude, you creamed in your shorts when Captain America, when Thor's hammer came back and Captain America grabbed that shit.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I immediately looked over at your face to see what you were doing.
Yeah. And it was a big moment.
You were creaming your shorts.
And I really enjoyed it.
I know,
but
there was a lot of cream.
As a movie, Parasite is
a better movie.
Better movie.
Yeah, I mean, Endgame.
I don't want to go all Martin Scorsese on this, but
you're right. Endgame
those aren't movies,
right? Endgame was a culmination of awesomeness. I agree. It's not particularly written well or anything like that. It's just this amazing, all your favorite heroes, stuff like that. Yeah. So I get it. Speaking of subtitles, real quick, because the whole time you were talking, I was thinking of this.
Was it JoJo Rabbit?
No. JoJo Rabbit is the next movie I'm going to talk about, because I have 2 movies left. I don't know why you only had 1.
I don't remember any of the movies.
Okay, that's fine.
It's been a month since we talked about this, remember?
Anyway, so...
you can take my audio from the first one, because that one was good.
Fuck you. Just lay it over. I showed her Django Unchained. She hadn't seen it. I don't know how.
Django?
Yeah, Django. The D is silent. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. There was a couple parts, like when that black guy was getting torn apart by dogs. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, wasn't a fan of that.
Is that on a horse?
Is that a what?
Is that a marshmallow on a horse?
Anyway, so she loved it. So
I got a joke for that. Not to like.
You're sitting too far away from the microphone. Okay. Anyway, real quick. So she loved the movie, and I said, "Oh, you like Quentin Tarantino's other movies?" Because the only Quentin Tarantino movie she's ever seen is Pulp Fiction, which, in my opinion, is the most overrated of his movies. I still have to show her Reservoir Dogs because I think that's his best. But I showed her Inglourious Bastards. All right? She fucking hated it. The reason she hated it is because she watches movies by like looking at her phone and looking up every once in a while. So
she couldn't do the subtitles.
She couldn't do the subtitles. So French, German, back to English, French, German, French. Mm-hmm. You know, she couldn't do it.
And it annoys the piss out of me when people do that. Like, they can't just sit there and watch a goddamn movie.
Right. I know. Trust me. Like, the only movie I've ever gotten her to watch fully, only because her phone was dead, but we put it on the charger, and as soon as it lit up, like, I saw her eye it, but then she was already into the movie, so she watched the whole thing, was The Sixth Sense. And, like, it still blew her mind. I was like, they've referenced this ending a whole bunch of times.
Of course it's going to blow her mind. It's the first movie she's ever watched all the way through. It's quite an experience.
Well, the other movie we watched before I get to talk about JoJo Rabbit was a movie you recommended that I can't believe I've never seen.
I can.
Why? I watch
you
movies.
thought it was Schindler's List.
Okay, whatever. Yes, I thought that the setting was completely different. I didn't realize it was more Green Mile. But Tim Robbins did amazing in Shawshank Redemption. The movie is brilliant. It's paced perfectly, acted perfectly. Everybody, even like the bad act, they like hid the bad acting from some of the other guys, like the main guard that was like a total asshole. You could tell he's a bad actor, but it worked. Everything about the movie worked. There wasn't one time in the movie where I was like, oh, that's kind of, I'll let it pass. No, not once. It was perfect. The perfect movie. You're right. It is the perfect American movie. It's great. I don't know. It's just it's brilliant. It's a really good movie.
It's the most wonderful form of storytelling. I mean, like,
well, like I'm not really usually into like narrated movies, but it's narrated by Morgan Freeman. Does a great job.
Right.
Tim Robbins, I don't think is a great actor, but
does a great job.
Does a great job as Andy Dufresne. I mean, just his like kind of cocky attitude, but not really. He's kind of like I don't know how to describe his character. He's cocky without being an asshole. You know what I mean? He's very...
I'm aware.
He knows what he wants. And it's so good. That's not for you. It's for them. Anyway, they probably already seen it. Yeah. I'm the asshole that hasn't seen that movie.
Probably.
But yeah, no, he's just great. And the ending is great. Everything about the movie is just fucking brilliant. Every single piece of it. So yeah, watching that movie was a delight. So thank you for that. You need to suggest other movies like that, not shows like Letterkenny. Give me some real good shit, not Schindler's List, and we'll be good. Because like
Schindler's List was really good.
Well, up until I saw that movie, I declared Green Mile being the best prison-based movie ever. And while it's still one of the best movies I've ever seen,
it's a great movie.
Shawshank Redemption beat it,
like
hands down. And I didn't think that was possible because like you have fucking Tom Hanks. You have Michael Clark Duncan playing like the sweetest black giant ever. Like he was just great. And I was like, no, you can't beat the Green Mile. The whole time I was like telling myself, I was like, this isn't better than the Green Mile. And I was like, this isn't better than the Green Mile. And like, a third of the way of the movie, I was like, okay, it's getting there, it's getting pretty good. So yeah, it was a really, really good movie and I loved it. So do I get to talk about my last movie now since you don't have anything?
Sure. I mean, do you want to pull one out of nothing?
You want to talk about JoJo Rabbit?
No.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Fucking watch it, Tim. It's so good, dude.
Watch Parasite.
I'll watch Parasite if you watch JoJo Rabbit.
Well, do I have to rent JoJo
yes.
Rabbit? Yeah.
Do I need to pay for you to rent JoJo Rabbit?
We'll see. I am kind of jobless at the moment.
JoJo Rabbit is just, it's not to the level. It just sucks that I watched this movie in the same week that I watched Shawshank Redemption because JoJo Rabbit is brilliant in a different way. It was more artistic than Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption was very grounded. JoJo Rabbit is not. It's about a little boy who's part of the Nazi youth whose best imaginary friend is Hitler himself, as played by Taika Waititi. And it's hilarious. It's fucking sad. It's really good. And he finds out that there's a Jewish girl living in his house. Right upstairs, in his sister's bedroom. It happens to be, his sister died apparently, and her best friend was a Jewish girl, and his mom, who's played by Scarlett Johansson, decides to hide this little Jewish girl in her house because it was a good friend of her daughter and reminds her of her daughter. And it's so fucking good, man. It's fucking hilarious. Like, it's really, really funny. It has that fun tone of like Thor Ragnarok or any Taika Waititi produced thing. Like he's brilliant. I don't know what it is about him as a director. I love him. I will support him for the rest of his fucking career. Great movie.
Great movie?
Great fucking movie.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See? Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us just talking in person, live, via satellite.
Don't. It's not live via satellite.
I mean, it could be. It could be. Skype was kind of when we were doing Skype.
Yeah, that would have been an appropriate time to say it.
Okay, well, I'm not good at appropriate timing, man. I'm really bad.
I'm aware of that.
My punchlines are bad.
Speaking of your appropriate timing, how was y'all's Mother's Day? Did Sarah have a good one?
When was Mother's Day? I'm just kidding. No, yeah, she had a good one. It sucked because the gifts that I got her, one is still not fucking here. I got her...
Dude, I ordered some vape shit. It's going to take like an extra week to fucking get here. I'm like, what the fuck? I ordered it a week ago.
Well, see, and that's what... I got her a necklace and it came in because Mother's Day was this Sunday, right?
Yeah, this past Sunday.
My fucking days are so messed up. But yeah, so it came in Monday, and I was like, well, I ended up telling her on Sunday. She's like, so what did you get me? And I'm like, here it is. It's what she asked for. It's a little necklace that it's like a little bar. Mm-hmm. And on one side it says Harrison, on the other side it says 1, 2, 20 in Roman numerals and the little turtle. And she loved that. And then the other one is
Why
just
a turtle?
Because we call him Turtle Man. He looks like a little turtle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Also, she was like obsessed with getting him a fucking baby helmet because he has a little bit of a flat spot on the back of his head. And she's like, oh, I even contacted these guys that can do it for $50 to a wrap that's a turtle shell from Mario Kart. And I'm like, who did you call? And she's like, oh, some car wrapping place. I'm like, you fucking called people that professionally wrap cars to be like, hey, do you guys wrap baby helmets? Like, what the fuck? But anyway, so they approved it, and we just have to wait for our insurance company to approve it, and it's going to have a little turtle shell. I told him to get the blue one with spikes. I thought that would be funny.
I'm sorry. Your baby's going to have a helmet that he wears?
Yeah, for 6 to 9 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is, man. He's going to have a better chance of having a rounded head because it's not a perfect science. That's what the guy kept saying. I was like, okay, so your helmet doesn't do shit. That's what you're telling me. It costs $2,000 and it doesn't do anything. But yeah, so that, I don't know how that had to do anything with Mother's Day. Oh, the Turtle Man. That's,
Turtle Man.
And then the other thing, as you know, I love Your Mom's House podcast. They have a t-shirt that is like, best mom or something. It's Wonder Woman upside down. So it's not meanest mom. It's something whatever. Most modest mom. I don't fucking know. But it was a cute shirt. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to order this. $30 fucking bucks plus $10 for shipping. And it's still not fucking here.
Wow.
And I'm like, God, whatever. It'll be here Monday. But all to support a fucking podcast that Sarah doesn't even fucking listen to. She did for a little bit. But she doesn't like Tom Segura nearly as much as I do. She likes Christina way more than Tom. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Tom's a fucking psychopath, and it's amazing.
He is. I re-listened to his last special.
It's so good, isn't it?
It is.
You need to listen to the podcast, man.
I watched, the Two Bears, One Cave?
Yeah, see, that one's not bad, but I don't like Bert nearly as much as everybody likes Bert. Don't get me wrong. I've listened to every episode, but...
The problem with Bert is Bert just laughs the entire time.
Right.
No, I get it.
He's like Jimmy Fallon. Like, he just sits there, and then he doesn't laugh. He fucking wheezes. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah. No, that's my only problem with Bert, but I mean, like...
He's a funny guy.
I don't like... I've watched a couple episodes of Your Mom's podcast, or not Your Mom's podcast, whatever the fuck it is.
Your Mom's House.
Your Mom's House, whatever.
Welcome to Your Mom's House.
I will watch it depending on who the guest is. And I'll watch him play off the guest. I don't like
when they
Tom
don't have a guest?
When they don't have a guest and they're just playing off each other. Like, I just don't enjoy.
Why?
I don't know. I don't really find Christina all that funny.
See, that's my thing. I've found her less funny as the podcast goes on, but I also think like there's like a secret thing. I think Tom doesn't think she's as funny as she thinks, because like she'll be talking and he just like starts playing a video clip, or he'll just start talking over her, and you like it'll like the camera will go to her real quick, and she's like I guess I can't talk now, and I'm like, fuck, man, it's a savage shit. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't think she's unfunny, but she's not to the level of Tom. And then I think even the people in the booth are funnier than her. Like the stuff that they get to chime in with. I don't know. She's attractive. She's there. It's his wife.
Yeah.
You know, I think they play well together. I just think he's way funnier than her, so it kind of pushes her down.
I don't listen to that many podcasts. I mean,
I listen to a ton of podcasts, man.
The only one I consistently listen to, I listen to Joe Rogan consistently.
See, I don't listen consistently. I did before he brought out the fighter side of it. I don't listen to any of those fucking things. I don't find any of those guys interesting.
Did you listen to his last Elon Musk one?
I listened to the first hour. I still got to finish that shit.
That was actually really good. I really enjoyed that one.
I was listening to the Michael Yo one last night.
But and when he has comedians on there, I listen to every single one of those. Like,
see, the comedians are easier to go down. My favorite Joe Rogan podcast. Well, first, Alex Smith, the Return of Alex Smith. That whole fucking I watched that entire thing. It's fucking hilarious. But Joey Diaz. Anything Joey Diaz is on, I will fucking listen to. if Joe Diaz is over on
he's actually got a few of those. This is not happening. The ones
really?
Yeah, he's got a few of those stories, and like they're really good.
Well, I just love how he goes off on fucking tangents. Do you remember? It was an episode of JRE, and I think it was just Tom and Joey Diaz, and Tom was like, "Yeah, he almost killed me with this fucking joke about," and he starts talking, and then Joey Diaz just cuts him off. He's like, "It was 1984," and he just starts going on this fucking story, and Tom just goes and like pushes his mic away because he's about to fucking die of laughter. He's like, "God damn it, just let him talk." He's like, "And this woman, I was fingering a fucking pussy," you know, like, "Show me the monkey." Like, what the fuck, dude? I love Joey Diaz. Like, he'd be a fun ass.
Have you heard the story of him beating the shit out of a nun?
I have not.
So he was in Catholic school. And I'll let you go listen to the story, but he was in Catholic school, and there's this nun that would hit him, and he one day had enough of it and started beating the shit out of a nun. And it kills me because he gets this one part in the story, and it's my favorite part of the story. He's like, "I know you're boo-hooing out there because you shouldn't hit a woman." And he's like, "But she's a nun. There's a fucking difference." And like, I just died laughing. Joey Diaz is one of my favorites, but my favorite, I mean, I do love The Return of Alex Smith. It has got to be my favorite one he's done. But I really enjoy he did one with Lenny Clark. You probably don't know who he is. Yeah. He was a Boston comedian from back in the 80s. He was on Sirens. He played Johnny's dad, the one who was the next firefighter.
I'm trying to think of his face. I don't see it.
Anyway, he was also in Rescue Me.
His face. You have your phone right there.
Yeah. But so I mean, he's big friends with Dennis Leary, so he's on a bunch of Dennis Leary shit. I hate.
What do you hate?
I hate that they changed IMDb, dude. I'm still.
Oh, did you see they fucking changed YouTube? You have to tap for the comments now. You can't just scroll for the comment. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'd rather tap for the extra videos. Yeah, I don't recognize that guy at all.
Oh, okay. So. Lenny Clark, he was a huge
funny
deal.
Guy, though.
Huge fucking deal. There was a documentary that came out back in the fucking 90s that I saw that went through Boston comedy. And that's the only reason why I know as much about it as I do. And Lenny Clark was the fucking man. Like, he was...
Does he have that hard Boston accent, though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He
going to Donkin.
He was exactly what you thought a comedian was. Okay, and by me saying that, he didn't go onto the stage with a set list. He just went on stage and talked about whatever he thought was funny that day. Like, he made it up all on the spot. He would go across all of Boston and he'd be the host for all these different comedy clubs. And I mean, he would just do 20 minutes every fucking night, different club, and he was the man. He was just amazing. He ended up, long story short, to make it in that day and age, like to become like the epicenter of fucking comedy, you had to make it to one thing. You had to make it a late night with Johnny Carson. Okay, that's how you knew you made it as a comedian,
right?
And when they were going to pick a Boston comedian, everybody thought it was going to be Lenny Clark,
and they didn't pick him.
And they picked Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright?
You may know Stephen Wright. Yeah. Super dry,
yeah,
like
you've shown me him.
Stephen Wright, hilarious dude. I love him to death. But so Stephen Wright was the one that went on Johnny Carson, and he's the one who became famous.
Oh, so you think had...
And so Lenny Clark had a huge problem with Stephen Wright, and it led Lenny down a bad road of fucking drugs because of that happening, which kind of like derailed his career. But he ended up being with this other dude. I cannot remember his fucking name right now. He's a comedian from the 80s. You might not know who he is, but he was a fatter dude. He did coke all the fucking time. He's dead now.
Chris Farley.
He wore a hat and he had really fuzzy hair.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know exactly
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name.
So Lenny was with him all the time. And the podcast that he does with Joe is essentially just talking about the time he had with that dude and all this different shit that they got into. Because the dude ate, slept, and drank coke. Like, that was his life. And the podcast is just so fucking crazy from all the coke stories that I just love it. It's probably my favorite one. And it's nostalgic for me because it brings me back to a time, even though I didn't live in Boston,
right?
And I didn't have
live
anything,
in the 80s.
I didn't have anything to do with it. I remember watching that documentary as a kid, and it was just so impactful to me then that like because that was the first time I ever saw Joe Rogan. That's the first time I ever really saw Dennis Leary because they were all Boston comics, and like I got to understand comedy from that area.
That's fair. I mean that makes sense. So do I need to go check out that episode?
I mean, I would if you get the shot. I mean, I think it's like a 2.5 hour episode. It's not that long. It's not a long one.
You're talking about craziness. You know who lost their fucking mind during this quarantine? Tom Green. Tom Green fucking lost it. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was always kind of.
I watched some of his comedy here recently, dude. Like
some of his stand up.
Oh yeah.
So I saw one where he was like he was like at a bar. It was like a stand up thing. It was like really fucking high. It was like too high definition, but it didn't look like Tom Green. Like he had a full beard, and it didn't like I don't know. I just see him with the.
You remember what his jokes were?
Fuck.
Was it him talking about being on The Apprentice?
Yes. Yeah, and he's like, and I got that guy fucking fired.
This is not happening.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So, like I said, it pops up.
I love that story because Donald Trump's the president now, and so he's always like,
president of the United States. Yeah. So I listened to that, but it didn't look like Tom Green. I was like, holy fuck, Tom Green's gotten old. But then right after I saw that on Facebook, lo and behold, he's on JRE, and I'm like, what the fuck? So
I watched the episode actually.
Yeah, no, I did. I did too. But that's what I'm saying. That's where I realized that he like lost it because he was talking about how they were talking about back in the day he had turned his house into a studio, and then he's doing it again. So I subscribed to his YouTube channel. I listened to a couple of his podcasts, which is just him. Nobody else. It's just him. So there's very few people. Like Bill Burr is probably the only person I can think of that one person podcast. You can listen to it and it's entertaining. I don't really listen to it that often. Every once in a while I'll be like, let's hear what Bill Burr has to say because he's very opinionated.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to it too.
But Tom Green fucking went off the deep end. All right. Now he has like a vlog and he has the podcast, which he uploads like 7 episodes. Like he won't upload for a couple days and then bam, there's 10 fucking episodes for you. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, but he's apparently going to do another like version of the Tom Green show online. And I'm like, is it just you, Tom? Do you need help? Because I mean, you know me, I fucking love Tom Green.
Yeah.
But because of seeing all this stuff with Tom Green and he's fucking lost it, I just thought of something else. Harlan Williams. Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
Another guy, very similar to Tom Green in comedy style. Mm-hmm. I found out he has a fucking movie that I have to watch because it looks fucking terrible. You know, you're talking about passion. It's not a passion project. Mm-hmm. Like low budget. Mm-hmm. There's this fucking movie. Fuck. Guess your phone real quick. It has the stupidest title in the world, but he plays a redneck that finds an alien. And it, like when I say an alien, it's a dude with just a rubber alien mask over his head and like Andy Dick's in it, and it's fucking weird. But I need me and you to watch it. Oh yeah, look, literally. Jesus Christ. I didn't even have to click on his name. Look at it, says he's an actor for.
He's an actor for Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face. Is that the movie?
Yes. And I'm like, what the
fuck is this picture?
What is it?
So this is the movie poster.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And he's got like these mater teeth and he's like a redneck and it looks fucking awful, dude.
It's got a 6.9.
Yeah, out of what, 10 ratings of his family seeing it?
Apparently, it's more popular than fucking Half-Baked Robots and Employee of the Month.
That's what. Well, because he's the director, writer, and everything of Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face.
Is he?
I also found out because of the Tom Green episode of Joe Rogan's podcast. So I've been watching this stupid show because Harrison fucking just watches the TV. He just sits there and stares at it. But it's Puppy Dog Pals. Harlan Williams made it. He created a child's television show about dogs doing stuff.
He probably did it as a joke and can't believe it fucking worked.
Maybe. It's like the cutest show in the world, though. But even worse about it, I don't know when the fuck this show came out. Will you look up Puppy Dog Pals for me? I don't know when the show came out. The only reason I'm saying this because Tom Segura apparently caught Christina. He came into home one day without the kids are both asleep. All right. 2017. So both the kids are asleep and Christina is watching Puppy Dog Pals on TV alone. Like, what the fuck? And I've been tempted, man. It's a really good shit. No, it's not. It's a fucking terrible show. It's like one of those like, oh no, there's a chicken caught in a twister and they like have like this robot dog that they like attach shit to. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Sounds awesome.
Harlan Williams, man, is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
How did we get to this point? Holy shit. We're almost at an hour and a half, man.
We have a lot to say.
About nothing.
Well, people want to hear it.
Nobody wants to hear this, man.
That's not true. People are clamoring for this fucking episode, okay? Fucking clamoring, all right?
Like clams up in Boston.
Damn right, all right?
Clam chowder.
Fuck that clam chowder, all right? It's disgusting.
Is it? I don't like clams and I don't like chowder.
No. I'm not a big fan of the
TV show chowder?
No, New England clam chowder bullshit that they got up there.
Well, they were talking about on the radio the other day.
Especially that red shit in fucking New York. That shit's disgusting.
Real quick. I know this has nothing to do with movies, but I need your opinion.
Okay.
Via video. What do you think is a better pizza? Chicago deep dish or any pizza from New York?
Any pizza from New York.
Right. Because it's fucking pizza, right?
Well,
they were talking on Sports Radio 610. I'm like, the one in fucking Chicago, it's a goddamn pizza lasagna. It's not pizza.
Like, I get the argument. Not really. The reason why I don't get the argument is because people from Chicago don't even eat the pizza, okay?
Really?
No.
But they want to brag about having the best pizza.
No. Like, they really don't brag at all.
Oh, really?
Honestly, the real argument that nobody's fucking having is who has the better dog, all right? Who has the better hot dog? Is it Chicago or is it fucking...
Oh, I was like, do they have breeds of dog?
No. It's whoever has the better hot dog.
This is my New York Terrier.
No. The only reason people from Chicago ever eat deep dish pizza is because their relatives came into town and they want to have the Chicago experience.
Gotcha.
Okay? It's the only reason they ever happen.
So it's just one of those
people
things
from
that
New
kinda
York
stuck.
always eat pizza, okay?
Because pizza's great, first off, and New York has so many fucking... Can you imagine? I just want to go to New York and try the different pizzas because they're probably not that far off from each other, but they look fucking amazing. They're like Sam's Club pizza. Like they're fucking huge, like fourth of a pizza slices, and they all look incredibly delicious. Even if it's like cheese pizza, this shit looks amazing. But yeah, so I was just curious about that because
thin crust is always the better option.
Is that what they do? Thin crust?
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
It's a lot thinner of a crust because they don't put a whole lot of topping on it.
It looks so good. It looks so good. Try.
And if you go to Chicago, you get an actual pie.
You know what?
You know?
Yeah, you have an actual pie. You know what I had the other day?
Get some za. What?
That was fucking terrible.
I don't want to hear about it.
It was a $7 pizza.
Oh shit!
From Little Caesars.
Oh no way!
Have you seen their new mozzarella pizza?
No.
Fucking terrible. Don't get it, dude. The crust inedible. You can't it's gross. It's like cardboard mixed with dog shit.
I couldn't even tell you last time I had Little Caesars.
Well, I only got it because the commercial made that shit look like bomb. Like, I was like, yo, this is going to be a delicious-ass pizza. Little Caesars is stepping up the game. No. They went down in quality. It was bad.
Did you get contactless delivery, too?
I didn't. I went to the drive-thru.
You're not supposed to touch people.
I didn't touch nobody. Who did I touch? I touched the pizza.
You molested that pizza, huh? No? Is it a bad way to put it?
You make it sound like I'm White Goodman, fucking pizza and stuff.
Are you?
Sometimes. The sauce is just at the right temp.
You need a little bit of lube off that grease?
Oh, God. It's not the grease. It's the piece of sauce that's the lube, okay?
Oh, my bad.
That's why it has to be smooth. It can't be chunky.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I guess one last thing before we go. Have you seen the new Toucan Sam?
There's a new Toucan Sam? Is it like the new Planters guy? Just a baby?
No, look it up. It's bad. It's real bad. So, Tweet had shared a thing on it, and then I comment on there, like, oh, it's not that bad. It's like Teen Titans Go, and you like Teen Titans Go. And right after I said that, the fucking commercial came on, and I was like, oh, yeah, I hate this. Yeah. Why would they do that? Show that to the camera. Look at that ugly piece of shit.
That's awful.
I don't know why they did it. It's a travesty. Look what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy. Yeah, it's real bad. But it looks kind of like Teen Titans Go, like the animation style.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God. I don't know. I don't know what they did there.
That's awesome. Well, I don't eat Fruit Loops, so.
I don't either. I eat life.
You eat life?
Yeah. Wow. The cereal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho.
This movie podcast is donezo. All right? This episode, not the podcast. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, Dead to Me season 2 is on Netflix now.
Oh yeah.
So you should check it out.
Letterkenny season 9 comes out next month.
Oh, there's something that comes out. I'm excited to see King of Staten Island. I think that looks really good. Pete Davidson.
I don't know.
It looks good. It's a Judd Apatow. I don't want to lie and say it's a Judd Apatow movie, but
it probably is.
It looks.
It's got an SNL guy in it.
Well, it looks like
Judd Apatow.
The same mood as Funny People. That's what it looks like. But it's like exaggerated version of Pete Davidson's life. Like he's like, they're like, what are those numbers on your arm? He's like, oh, that's when my dad died. 9/11, and like Steve Buscemi is a firefighter, and he's like, your dad's a fucking hero. He's like, you need to be a hero too. Like step up and be a better version of yourself, like that kind of thing. I was like, this looks really good. And like it could be like a heart-touching type movie, heartwarming, heart-touching. Probably
wants to touch people's heart.
Yeah, touched by an angel. I don't know. Just rambling at this point.
Apparently.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna wing it, man.
Yep, and we see how well that went down.
Hey, it didn't go too bad. All right, I read. All right.
That says jazz metal.
That's the word. That's the word you come up with is jazz metal. Oh, God. Anyway, we will see you guys on the next episode. We plan, this is the plan, I want to do at least one a month. At least. So I'd like to do one every 2 weeks. That would give us plenty of time for new content to come out that we can watch and enjoy and then spit it out into some microphones.
Yeah.
Right?
We can do that too. But all we need is just somebody's audio not to fuck up.
Listen, man, it's only been one time that it was my fault on the computer because I bought that. As you can see, I have my trusty Focusrite because this thing hasn't let me down since I got it.
Yeah.
But I got that mixing board and I couldn't figure it out apparently. I'm a fucking idiot. So back to the Focusrite. And then we're not using Skype because we are live in person.
Don't.
Via satellite. and I'm sorry.
You're dumb.
Third time's the charm.
No.
Anyway, so we will let you guys go, but just know we love your faces, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Tim, do you have anything to say?
Don't die, everybody.
Yeah, especially in these times.
Yeah.
In these corona-ridden times. Do not die, everybody.
Or do.
What are you doing, man? Changing up the formula?
Or do not. There is no try, though.
Oh. Okay. All right. This episode's done. The show's done. It's over.
The podcast over.
Podcast out. I'm not dropping this. I was going to drop it. You can drop that one. I don't give a fuck about that microphone. This one costs $100 goddamn. All right. See you guys on the next episode.